Shall we? Hello, welcome to episode 5 of Fish TV. I'm Phil Wilkes. This is Dr Duncan Walling, and together we're the founders of FourteenFish. So we've got a question that's been sent in by Dr Jonathan Rial this week. It's a pretty meaty question. John sent in a video, so let's hear the question now.
Hi Phil and Duncan, I'm Jonathan. I have a question about reflection, a topic that's obviously dear to Duncan's heart. I just wanted your opinion on a couple of court cases that have occurred recently where trainees' reflections on significant events have been used in the case and actually used against them. This also has happened with qualified GPs, and in a most recent BMJ there was an article implying that reflection is dead because of the implications that it might have. If you did reflect, you could actually be putting yourself in an awkward situation should a court case be called. So I was just wondering what your opinion is on this, and also as someone that is, realises how important reflection is, should we still be doing this, or is it dangerous to start reflecting on our own significant events? Thanks.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. Great question. Stop Fish TV. We have got a reflection bell.
Look at it, it's beautiful.
Try it.
Well, no, you should be trying it, shouldn't you?
I've got a feeling if I'm dinging that every time we say reflection in this episode, it might get a bit annoying. So should we just do one big thing?
You're going to preempt it?
Because Jonathan mentioned the reflection. Well, he mentioned it.
Okay.
There we go. But that'll make a comeback in a future episode, I promise.
Maybe well, you're right. I probably am going to say reflection. So I was listening to that video and I thought, whew, that question, as Phil says, that is not a easy or light-hearted question, but a fantastic question, and obviously a extremely topical and relevant issue. So to answer this, I'm drawing on both my experience with medical education as a GP trainer, and sort of being involved in medical education, and obviously since for working for FourteenFish and working with the different educational bodies we've been working. But also from my experience working with Wessex LMCs, we would often, as GP representatives, sit on performance panels.
Right.
So looking at GPs who are being investigated after complaints or...
Did their reflection ever, play into
well,
that?
Please, let's not. Ooh. You're jumping to the punchline.
Okay.
It's like watching a film with my wife. My younger daughter, actually. She always wants to know the end, but that's the start. As Jonathan said, there's certainly been one high-profile case, albeit high-profile, I say, mentioned in the BMJ with this letter saying, is reflection dead? Because a medical trainee, a junior trainee, had their reflections used against them in a court case, so in a court of law. Mm-hmm. The medical legal advice is quite clear and common sense in that it says always seek advice from your defence body, which all doctors and nurses should have before releasing any information. So if you're in a performance, any sort of performance procedure, or and be it local, national, or GMC, NMC, or any legal procedure, of course, go to your medical defence union and ask their advice. My experience, they've always been almost universally helpful and always reassuring to speak on the phone. But that doesn't really answer the question about is reflection dead, but it's key advice, just saying make sure. And the implication was, I think, that actually this should you release reflective information as such as this. But that, again, is not a good enough answer, because at times we don't know the background of whether this, in this case, it was released willingly or voluntarily. I certainly don't know anyway from reading about it. So the other advice from GP leaders and from the medical legal article that I read on this was to record your reflection anonymously. And of course that was already the advice, that we shouldn't be using patient identifiable information when we're recording. So if we're recording learning about a significant event, any sort of learning, we shouldn't really be able to identify patients.
Yeah.
Now, again, that's not going to solve everything, because actually, if you're reflecting on a significant event, the nature of the event might mean that actually, and then if a complaint or a court case arises out of it, it's still essentially identifiable from the nature of the circumstances that you've described. But the medical legal advice was saying that actually it is more difficult to use if recorded anonymously, so make sure that you record information anonymously, as we should be all doing already. My feeling, and looking at all this, is actually reflection isn't dead, and obviously I'm going to say that because I'm passionate about reflection. And you're right, I suppose if we kept saying reflection every time, we'd be a lot of dings there, like machine gun dinging.
Go. Sore finger.
I think this is extremely useful to have in the back of our minds, and I suspect it probably will lead to less candid reflection. As health professionals, we're very well practiced at safety netting our verbal advice and safety netting our written records, and being aware that these are and certainly could and can be used in sort of legal implications. And I think we have to have this mindset, or the back of our mind as well, when recording reflections. I mean, we've all had this constant barrage of sort of media attack, and I think, if anything, contributed to me leaving the profession, although, it wasn't that I jumped out, but it was the thing that wore me down the most was the media sort of blame culture, the headlines of doctors have done this, doctors have done that, because of course there's a few bad apples, but on the whole, doctors, nurses are all there caring, they're trying to help. But because of that, I think we are more and more conscious of the way we document, the verbal advice we give, and just making sure, and keeping that in our mind, true of reflection. But reflection has to be about what I have learned, it has to be personal, and by that you're sort of almost saying what you didn't know before. And there's the vulnerability, and that's what seems to have been used in this case. The GMC remains clear that actually doctors should regularly reflect on their performance. And in my experience, and in fact to answer your question of earlier, Phil, it's actually lack of reflection, lack of insight, or just reflection that's meaningless and unstructured that is more damaging in performance cases. I have never come across personally reflection being used in this way, and reflection, we all know doctor knows everything, and so reflection is often in line with general accepted good practice, and we recognise that, and the people sitting on performance panels are fellow professionals. However, legal cases are different. They're a different process to professional investigations. And I suspect that we won't hear the end of this. So it's not a definitive answer. I don't feel that reflection is dead, but I think it'll be interesting to watch this situation continue and develop, and we will see. So an excellent question. I hope that answer with different aspects is useful, and we may come back to this in future episodes. It could be like Who Shot JR, I suppose, but not quite as exciting.
That was pretty heavy. Jonathan sent in another question as well, which hopefully be a little bit quicker to answer.
And maybe lighter. We don't know. We haven't watched this. No, we have watched this one. It is lighter. Yeah.
So let's, thank you, Liz. Let's play that one.
Look at poor Elmo.
Hi, Phil and Duncan. I was just wondering where one might purchase a 14Fish mug that I've seen Phil using, as I think it'd look great in my kitchen.
So we got these a while ago, and for logo fans, it's got the old logo on. And the
first start with, do you remember my very first Christmas present to you was a 14Fish t-shirt?
Yeah, but it was large,
It was a bit
or
too
even
big.
extra large, I think.
Yes.
So
too big for you.
Yeah. So yeah, it's the old logo, and it's not got the square fish on it instead of the rounded fish. So, but what we're going to do,
Limited edition.
because we know, limited edition. It's like the original Apple stuff.
Yes.
Because we know people,
Good comparison. I feel the parallels are massive.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're basically
The same. Yeah.
I'm Steve Jobs.
I'd say yes, maybe the other one, but carry on.
So we know, 14Fish users love our stuff, of course, and we'd love to get our hands on these. We recognise that.
Answers are longer than mine.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is set up like an online shop, so that you can order these. We'll do mugs. We're going to do other stuff. Yeah. Sorry. Bags, t-shirts. I've got like a thermos.
I do those.
Yeah. So you can basically order it, and we're going to from that we're going to give a percentage of it, 5-10% or something, to a charity. So that's good as well. Yeah.
That is good. And what is also good is it's July, so we've got a few shopping days left before Christmas.
Yep.
So
yeah, we'll do a big push before Christmas.
Of course.
On the 14Fish merchandise.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. So that isn't ready quite yet, but we'll get that set up in the next couple of days, and we'll put a link.
Where will we put the link?
Down below in the description, and we'll put it on our website somewhere probably as well.
When you said you put the link down below, if someone watching wanted to ask us a question, Phil, how would they do that?
Great question.
Thank you.
So you can contact us via our website. We have a contact form and an online chat thing at the bottom. You can find us on all the different social media thingies. So we're on YouTube, which you're watching this video on now. So you can subscribe and comment below the video. We are on Facebook, so please like us on Facebook. You can message us through there as well. We're on Twitter, so follow us at 14Fish or send us a tweet at 14Fish. We're on Instagram, and lastly, we're on Snapchat. Again, all is 14Fish. So loads of ways to get in touch with us. We'd love to hear from you. You can send in questions, just type them out, or send us a video. Love videos.
Perfect.
And if we use your question, then we'll also give you a free year's access to our appraisal toolkit.
Yes.
So it's worth doing, definitely. Great. So
thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching.
Bye, everyone. Great episode.
Didn't mention that it's the cycling episode.
No, we
special
didn't.
of Tour de France.
Tour de France special. It's been and gone. Got the lube. Got to make sure your chain is well lubed. Good luck to Mark Cavendish on the Champs-Elysees stage, because he's won 4 stages now in this tour, which is amazing. But it'd be wicked for him to win in Paris. That would be good.
And Chris Hoy, I presume. Oh no, he's not. No, he's a track cyclist.
Chris Hoy's at home on the sofa with a cup of tea. Looking at his quads, thinking, "Oh, they're good." So
is this from the famous legend when you were cycling past, your cog came spinning off and embedded itself into a piece of wood?
Yeah, exactly.
I thought so.
I cut the tree down.
That's the actual one.
And then had it mitered.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice use of the word miter.
Thank you.
Hello, testing.
Hello.
Hello, testing.
Hello, testing.
Hello, testing.
And we're back. That's dry lube. Do you want to ring my bell? Is that annoying? It had to happen one day.
Yeah, Mama warned me about this.
You're on site. That's it.